Welcome back to Autism Live. I'm so busy talking with Joanne Lara that I don't have time to be prepped. But because I adore her so much. For those of you, if you haven't watched the show with her on it before, she's just an amazing, amazing lady. And we mentioned yesterday that you're about to get an award because Nancy Allspaw Jackson was here, and I said that you were going to be on the show, and she said, "Oh, you should watch. We waxed poetic about you without you here." I always say we talked about you behind your back and said nice things.
And my ears must have been burning.
They must have been.
Yeah.
But and Nancy was saying you're getting the Cowgirl Award for community activism at Denim and Diamonds this year, and I was saying how well deserved that is, and it's that's a big honor for a lifetime of work, and a lot of star-studded people are going to be there to celebrate you, and some other people as well at Denim and Diamonds this year. We're excited for you, but it isn't even a drop in the bucket compared to the things that you have done. For people who don't know, you are the founder of Autism Movement Therapy, which we can talk a little bit about, but also the co-founder of Autism Works Now, which is mostly what we're going to talk about today. And that doesn't even begin to describe the amount of things that you have done in the world of autism in the last more than 15 years.
I'm in special education 20 years, but the nonprofit is 10 years old this year.
Wow.
10 years old with the Autism Movement Therapy as our nonprofit, and we're 10 years old.
But for people who don't know, I mean, you worked extensively in the school system, in the special education school system, have a great wealth of knowledge there, and still you teach at National University, and you help mentor educators who are going into the classroom.
That's right.
To help to prepare them. You have worked in the field of ABA, and are extensive, and in fact, you teach in the field of ABA.
I have a ABA graduate certificate.
There we go.
So I've done all the ABA coursework that the BCBAs do.
You're a wealth of knowledge, and you constantly are giving to the community. You started along with Susan Osborne, who we have to, unfortunately, she couldn't be with us here today, but you started Autism Works Now, and it really has been a tremendous journey thus far, and you guys sort of took a left turn in the last year, and because you saw how difficult it was to get employers to hire, and said you're going to do this yourselves, and started Glorious Pies.
That's right, as a DBA. So we are a business, and we are on payroll with Wells Fargo. So all of our employees or our candidates that are part of the Autism Works Now program who work with us get a paycheck.
Which is amazing.
Get a paycheck. It's the real deal.
So not only do you have this whole extensive curriculum, and there is even a book of the curriculum that you are doing for Autism Works Now, but you really are putting it into practice practically, because as the candidates are working with you, they are hired by Glorious Pies, and they're working a job, getting, in some cases, that first job and on-the-job training completely under your help and Susan's help and others' help, to set them up for the best success. So let's break this all down for folks. Let's break down exactly what Autism Works Now is and does, and how people can get involved.
Okay, so Autism Works Now is a pre-employment skills to jobs training, a curriculum-based, and we meet every week at CARD. On Ventura at the center,
it's the Woodland Hills location.
The Woodland Hills location.
And we should say that Autism Works Now and CARD are not related or affiliated or have anything really to do with each other, except that you're fond fans of each other.
Right.
But Dr. Grandpa Shea saw what you were doing with your candidates. Your candidates came and toured and got to meet with her. And she loved what you were doing so much. She said,
how can I help you? And I said, I didn't miss a beat. We need office space.
Right.
And she said, you've got it.
Yeah.
So she's been I'm such a big fan. How wonderful was that? Because we were paying for office space to meet once a week. And office space in Los Angeles is very expensive.
Yeah, nobody needs that overhead.
So that was fantastic for her to give like that. She's such a giver.
Well, but the truth is that you rightly said, here's what I need, and had
Yeah,
it ready,
right,
which
right.
is important. And then you have utilized the space and utilized it well. And,
Every week.
that's what she wanted you to do.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to be clear about that. They are not affiliated with
Right,
each
right,
other,
right. Absolutely.
but fond fans of each other. So you meet every week, and each week you do different things.
Each week is a curriculum. So it's an 8-month session course, if you will.
Okay.
We go from October 4th, we start October 4th, Thursday, October 4th, and we go to the very last week of May.
Okay.
We don't go in the summer because summers are hard to get everybody together.
Right.
So we found that out early on the first year. We're going into our 4th year, actually.
Amazing.
And we are thrilled. Every year we learn something, we revamp. Susan has rewritten the manual again, yet again, because we tailor it to the kids, and then, or the candidates as we call them, and as we finish a year, we reevaluate and go, you know what, it might be better to put this lesson before this,
Sure.
or, we're learning, we're always learning too.
Yeah.
So for the Autism Works Now certification workshop training, which is in Los Angeles, September 14th, it's a Friday from 10 to 3, at the studios where I do my AMT certification workshops as well. It's a lovely dance studio. It's just beautiful. It's very airy and bright and light, and we'll have our PowerPoint presentation, and we'll have the manual that we work from. Mm-hmm. The real essence of what we created the program for was, again, like I created autism movement therapy. We don't want to be the only ones doing this.
Right.
We don't want people to go, well, you know what, I miss out because I can't be in Los Angeles.
Why don't I live in Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Why aren't these programs here where I am? I know you guys all write to me and say,
Yeah.
Shannon, you tell us about what's in Los Angeles, but it feels bad because I don't have access to it.
Exactly.
So you've got this workshop on September 14th. Mm-hmm. People can come to it, and they get certified so they can do this
replicate
training.
The program.
There we go.
So they take away with them, and we teach them how to use the manual the week by week. I mean, it's really fine. It's really finely designed now.
Yeah.
We've got, like, the first week, hello, this is what you do, and here are the worksheets.
Yeah.
Second week you meet, hello, this is what you do, and here are the worksheets.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't mess up.
Yeah.
It's like you can't mess up. And now we're starting to get organizations across the country that, interestingly enough, they're organizations that have been founded because when the members had children that were younger, they wanted to serve them. And so now they have their children who are no longer children.
Yeah.
And they want to serve them in the workforce, but they realize, hey, they're not getting the jobs.
Right.
My kid, my child transitioned at 22 and he's 27 now,
Yeah.
and he's never worked a day in his life. What's going on? Okay, well, we can address that because that's a whole show. But the point is they're seeing that we have this program because we're the only people that have this program. We developed this work program with a book,
Yeah.
with a manual, and it's not like we're like, it's in theory.
No.
This is practicum. We're
Yes.
going into our 4th year, and we're seeing people's lives change.
Oh, yes.
Their families change. We see individuals who are depressed and down, and now they have a job, and
Yeah.
everything changes when you have a reason to get up in the morning.
And I really want to commend you because not only, it's been the 4 years and you've been fine-tuning the curriculum, and when you saw that you were struggling to get the employers to get in there, you started Glorious Pies, but you do have candidates that now have jobs that are outside of Glorious Pies. I want
right.
people to realize that, and that are flourishing, and that this is what we all want to get to.
Right.
So let's back up for just a second and say, so that's the first thing that we want you to know about is the workshop that's happening on September 14th.
Here in Los Angeles.
That is happening here in Los Angeles, but it's just a one-day certification.
Friday.
And so there is a cost for that, of course, because you have to keep the doors open. Mm-hmm. Where can people go to find out how they can register for it? Because you do have a couple of spots left open that people could take.
We have 10 people registered already, and we're thrilled because in the beginning we thought, well, we hope we just get 2.
Right.
It's like new.
But you could take a few more people.
We can take
at
up
this
to
point.
20.
Okay.
And it's a very collaborative workshop, and we like to work. We've done it twice before.
Uh-huh.
And it's collaborative in that we work in groups, And you'll see that there's I would like for you to come. There's a through line on collaborative working together.
Yeah.
And so we go from the beginning at 10 o'clock in the morning till 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we keep reconvening for collaborative exercises together.
Right.
So you really form a bond with your group, but you're also learning what is it like to be, one, an individual who needs to be employed.
Right.
Because the point is, we forget, look, we've been working since we were what?
Right.
I've been working since I was 18.
Right.
So we've been working a long time. We don't know where those challenges are for these individuals. Yeah. We don't personally live that any longer.
Yeah.
But they do. And other people are continuously defining who they are, yeah, without asking them what they want to do. So what we see is individuals who are forced into sheltered workshops and sub-minimum wage, and it is legal to pay an individual with a disability a sub-minimum wage. So, who came up with that? Yeah. Who comes up with this stuff? I mean, and sheltered workshops, and I was with, on Hillary Clinton's team, I had to get a message to her because she was talking about, we're doing away with sheltered workshops and sub-minimum wage. I said, the sub-minimum wage is fine, but Tony Coelho, I said, you've got to tell her to stop with the sheltered workshop, because that sounds like, oh, we're really taking care of you in a sheltered workshop. Right. And that's not the case. Sheltered workshop is exploitation of workers with disabilities.
I think a lot of people don't understand that. When I see people talking about sheltered workshops and the sub-minimum wage thing in the general public and in the media, even I as a parent was told by somebody, they were like, oh, it's so much nicer because, what they do, it is that thing where we're sold this bill of goods of, oh, they keep them someplace where they're safe and they give them work.
It's an outdated model from the 50s.
They say, but it takes more, they have to have supervision. And so they can't pay them as much as minimum wage, but they're paid a fair wage. But then when you talk about the fact that they have these warehouses where they bus these individuals
and
with
sort
disabilities
candy
and
for
sort
Nestle's
for pennies on the dollar.
I've seen it with my own eyes.
It is a version. Then you go, oh, that sounds like slave labor to me. And it's not, we say, they'll say, oh, well, it's enriching them and it gives them a job and a place to go, and that thing you were talking about the pride. But if you're going to a warehouse and you're getting a paycheck that's for like $8 and all you do is something mindless all day, that's not helping anybody.
And what a waste.
Yeah.
Why not assess what the individual, and we use an assessment tool, we use a number of assessment tools in Autism Works now, depending on the cognitive of the individual.
Yeah.
Look, everyone can't do a COPS, which is used pretty much nationwide. It's an assessment tool for vocational, for what this individual is good at. But what about a person who's nonverbal and can't read?
Right.
There are picture assessments for work.
Right.
We use them.
Right.
So the person circles, oh, that looks like something I'd like to do. Then we get a good idea of where they see themselves working.
Yeah. As
opposed to, let's herd them off over here, sit them down at a table and throw candy for Valentine's and Christmas and Easter. It's ludicrous. And it's an old model, Shannon.
Well, but we're all stuck in this old model in our head. Even I was, until you re-educated me. This idea that, because I meet parents every week and talk to parents every week, and when I meet somebody who has an older, I ask everybody, how's your child doing, right? And when it's an older child, parents will say to me, well, and he or she is fine. And I will at some point say, are they working a job? And a lot of parents will say to me, oh, bless you, dear. My child is not somebody who will ever be able to hold a job. My child doesn't have enough skills to be able to do that. And my thing always was, I would go, oh, okay. Because I'm listening to them and they would tell me and I would say, okay. And I would think, well, so some individuals just can't work. And you came up to me and said, get rid of that idea. Right. Everybody has a right to work. Everybody deserves to work. And I was like, but do they want to work? And when we sat here earlier this year and interviewed your candidates, and all of them said, of course I want a job, for various and sundry reasons. Yeah. And even, one of the candidates where verbalization is very limited, right? Made it very clear that he wanted to work and that it was important to him.
He works a lot with us.
And
at
we have that
Flourish.
video. Should we just show that
Yeah,
video?
let's do
Let's
it.
let him speak for
I
himself.
want to
So
do
go
it.
ahead, Samantha.
It's Zach.
air
I
that.
know it's Zach.
Yeah. Talk to us a little bit about what your degree is in.
City planning or urban planning.
I got it from Cal State Northridge with a degree in cinema and television arts with an emphasis in screenwriting.
And what are you interested in, Eli?
A video game internship.
Computer programming.
I'm hoping to combine entertainment or travel, my two passions.
Ooh, what kind of jobs have you worked?
Bakery inventory.
Okay, inventory.
Talk about your volunteer
I
job.
was going to help the soldiers.
You volunteered to help the soldiers?
Yes.
I interned in the national parks in the Santa Monica Mountains, which is very urban area. So I worked with the problems of how it's impacting the surrounding community, like the flow of traffic and the flow of people and what they could do to plan in the parking.
I've been to China, I've been all around Europe, I've been to Thailand, Japan, Australia.
You can create an app? That's impressive. Really cool thing. Can you teach other people how to make an
Yeah.
app? If you have a choice between working or not working,
Working.
you like working.
Yes.
Why? What do you like about working?
It is fun.
I would work
Yeah? You would choose work? Why?
because I want to get paid and enjoy it, and want to make sure I have enough money so I can save it.
Why do you need to have a full-time job? I mean, it's kind of like a duh thing, right?
No, obviously, so I
Yeah.
can support myself
Right.
and hopefully a family down the line, but at least at first, myself.
I'm very dependable and always reliable and get to my job on time.
What excites you about working a job or being an intern?
Learning new skills.
Yeah. What has it meant to you having this job and having the stability of a job that you've had for multiple years?
It's meant the world because I'm able to do everything, but almost everything I wanted to do because of that job.